right, hello there. So we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to try to show you this paper, and I want to explain simplifying fractions to you a little bit more. So last week I noticed that a lot of you guys were having trouble with the Kahoot because it was asking you to simplify the fractions and show your answer was simplified in the lowest terms. So I wanted to get a little bit more practice with that because it is really important when you go to school in middle school next year. And it's really important for probability too. So simplifying fractions. It's when we're making equivalent, remember that means equal, fractions that are smaller. Why do we do that? Why would we want to do that? Because it makes it easier to imagine. It's just like easier to think of it that way. So for example, I believe in the video that I asked you to watch already, which I hope you already did watch, it asked you to divide a pizza. I think they divided a pizza up into 8 equal parts. And then let's pretend I ate 4 of those slices. So what that means is I would have had a fraction that I ate 4 of the 8 slices. But if you came to me and you said, hey, how much of the pizza did you eat? Would you say you ate 4/8? No, what would you say? You'd probably say I ate a half of the pizza. So 4/8 is equivalent to a half. A half is a simplified fraction of 4/8. But maybe you don't know how to do that. Maybe you couldn't think of that. How we do that was we find a number that goes into both 4 and 8, the highest number. The highest number that goes into 4 and 8 is 4, which would give us how many 4s go into 4? 1. How many 4s go into 8? 2. But I'm going to show you an easier way to do it because when we get into the harder ones, this can help. So we can know that these are both even numbers. We can divide them by 2. 4 divided by 2. How many 2s go into 4? 2. How many 2s go into 8? 4. So I have 2/4. But is that simplified? Is that the simplest it can be? No, I can divide this again by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 into 4. How many 2s go into 4? 2. 1/2. So 4/8, you can see, is the same as 2/4 or 1/2. But let's try a harder one. What would happen if I have a game where I'm going to bet I'm going to bet 12 squares on this game of 30. And if I roll my ball and it lands on one of these squares, I win. So what's the fraction of probability I'll do that? So we look at how many outcomes are there in total. There's 30. How am I talking about? I'm talking about 12 over 30. But I mean, I don't really know what that looks like. I mean, that's a really big fraction. I can't really imagine that in my mind. So we can simplify this fraction. We simplify it. We can actually divide it by 2 because it's even. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 30 divided by 2 is 15. But is this lowest? Is there anything else that can go into here? Pause the video and think about that. What other number can be divided into 6 and 5? This is where multiplication is important. So we can divide it by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And how many 3s go into 5? How many 3s go into 15? 5. So 2/5 is actually what this is. And we can see that it's an equivalent fraction in the simplest form. Because if we divide this into 5 equal parts, there are 2 shaded in. What about another one? How about 7/15? Is there anything number that goes into 7 and 15? There really isn't, right? Because you have 1 times 7. Those both go in, but that doesn't work. And then 1 times 15, and we have 5 times 3. So there isn't any number. If 1 and 1 are the only thing that goes in, we can't. If we divided 7 by 1, it would be 7. And 15 by 1, it would be 1 again. So that one's already in the lowest form. I hope that helps and that you can do some of the practice work this week. And we can work on simplifying fractions. Awesome.